Yeah.
Have you checked it out, or have you heard anything on it yet?
No, it's the same stuff. It's just his regular straight bourbon.
Just a bottle different.
He just changes the bottle.
Okay.
But that's got to be last year's. Someone still had.
So when I went to Minden Meat in Delhi today, I was talking about the rare character.
Yeah.
Apparently, the guy that came across from the other side of the country.
Yeah, from the East Coast, like North Carolina or something,
It was
right?
12 bottles.
Oh, that he bought 12 bottles?
Yeah, and then the guy from somewhere down in Sacramento, California area, who owns another place, bought it for a bunch of other people, but he bought 3 cases.
Okay.
They got like 6 bottles there left, and I'm like, I might buy this next paycheck, but I'm buying this one first.
I want to try some other rare characters to see how that bottle, because I want to compare his ability to do barrel picks against other people.
Oh, for sure.
So I have a barrel pick that I haven't opened up yet, but I will before I finish off the Minden Meat bottle.
Yeah.
I have the liquor lineup bottle from Vegas. I almost bought the Lee's bottle too, one of the Lee's bottles, but I have 2. That should be enough. I just figure out who does barrel picks that better fit my palate.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
What were your thoughts on his barrel picks so far?
He's good. I think the guy at Rayleigh's is better.
For sure.
That guy's got talent.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is, but whoever the wine steward is for Nevada Rayleigh's is nailing it with whiskey.
You sure you don't want to review a Rayleigh's bottle pick?
Like that one, we can at some point.
I mean, you're giving him pretty good praise.
They still have, the one that I want to buy out of there. They still have 1 bottle left. I saw it today, and I don't know why I didn't buy it, but I didn't.
What is it?
They still have 1 of their 1792 foolproof picks.
1792.
And I had
Oh, really?
I've only ever had 1 1792 foolproof pick. It was from Ben's Liquor in Reno,
Yeah.
and it's good, but the other Ben's Liquor picks are trash.
Oh.
So I'm curious if it gets that much better, or if he just got lucky with the 1792 pick. Because I want to try someone else's that I trust.
Right.
And right now, the dude that's picking for Rayleigh's is just hammering it home.
Top notch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his name is Tom. That's what someone told me.
Oh,
But he's getting it right.
fair.
So top notch, Tom.
Anyway, we're going. So what's going on in the world? Anything?
I mean,
I was in Napa for a week. I just disappeared.
well, they had that bombing.
Right? Our
Yeah.
world, not the world
Oh,
at large.
You said the world.
Not the world at all.
I mean,
No,
that's
no,
pretty
our
crazy,
world.
though. Like,
Oh, that
like,
Hamas and Israel are at war?
well, no, I mean,
Aren't
they've
they
been at
usually
war
at
for
war?
like 20 years, right?
Well, I mean, technically, not Hamas and Israel so much, but the people in that region have been at war for about 3,000 years.
Yeah, but like this is the most extreme it's been in a while.
In a while, yeah.
Yeah.
In 20 years or so.
Yeah.
Actually, so my professor that I had, who was part of the negotiating team for Palestine the first time around, before the Intifada, one of his friends is one of the people taken hostage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He put that up he posted it.
Oh, wow.
I'm surprised he's not going over there to do work.
Your professor?
Yeah, he's one of those people.
Like-
He's really talented.
What kind of work?
Like they would call him to come negotiate.
He negotiates for Palestine.
Oh,
Like he was negotiating for Palestine with Israel, like at the highest level. Like he was part of the top negotiating team.
I thought you meant work.
So
No, not that kind of work. To do like, I'm a lawyer and I negotiate things for a living work.
Got it.
well, so
He was one of the coolest professors there. I didn't have a really solid relationship with him because I ruined his international negotiations class.
Of course you did.
He liked me. Like he gave me the highest grade in the class, but I felt bad.
well, yeah, because you smoked it.
We had a 4-hour block set up, and I'd locked it up in like 12 minutes
How'd you manage that?
Because he's a negotiator.
because I saw a window and I took it.
Okay.
Well, that's not even true because I didn't have any negotiating power in this particular final because it was a UN mock and I was Israel. So I didn't actually have a vote
Yeah, he wasn't stalling
or a
anybody.
voice.
And then you just threw your hat in the ring and
I
said,
just
nope.
baited other people to do my bidding, and they
Yeah.
did very quickly. And the people that were negotiating against them didn't understand what was happening
And then it was too late.
because I just needed any vote. I needed any agreement by the Security Council, and that would supersede any of the issues going to the General Assembly for a vote where I would lose.
I think that pissed me off too if I was the teacher.
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
And then I was like, So I took him aside. We broke after that, and the girl that was playing China was super arrogant, and she comes up and she's like still trying to negotiate, and she's still being really arrogant. And I was playing along for a second, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I already won. It's over." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "You all just agreed at the table to do this little thing as step one." She's like, "So?" Like, any agreement prohibits a vote going to the General Assembly. You've lost. And then he walked up and he said something, and I looked at him. I said, "Look, I've got a whole plan for this, like Israel." Okay, I said, "First, let me be clear. I understand that Israel would not play ball. I understand what fidelity to their position looks like. However, for this exercise, since this is a final in a law school class where people need to get grades, I have a plan to extend the negotiation and try and work something out with Palestine and with the other members of the Security Council, if you would like." And he goes, "Yeah, we probably have to do something." Yeah.
So you're like, "Don't worry, coach. I got this. Send me back in."
But did you get full marks for that?
I got the highest grade in the class.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
You locked it up 12 minutes, and then you decided
And then
to
he
say,
went back
"Here,
for
I
pity."
got
He
more
had done
for
it.
you."
He had done it. He'd been doing this class for like 7 or 8 years or something. And he took me aside. He's like, "That's no joke. Like, no one ever completes this in less than 3 hours." He goes, "It took you 12 minutes. I said, "Yeah, I saw a window. I took it." Yes.
So why don't you become a negotiator?
No one wants me to negotiate anything for them.
I got you. You can negotiate my first couple things. We'll set a precedence, and then we'll start negotiating other things.
Here's my problem with negotiations in the world today is that most everyone is fighting for the biggest piece of the pie they can get. I understand how to negotiate that way, but it's not what I do inherently. I try to build working relationships. I don't fit most people's negotiating outcomes.
Right.
Because in the end, they don't work. They work in the short term. They don't work in the long term. In the long term, they build disastrous relationships, and all parties fail. That's just how it goes, right?
Right.
Like, I can get the most out of any situation, and in the short term, that works. In the long term, it's incredibly short-sighted. So what's the point?
No, that's fair.
But then when you do that, like, I was notorious when I was doing it with distributors. I'd walk up, and they'd come to the meeting, and there were a couple that were just so shady. I'm like, "Look, here's what you're giving me. Here's what I'm giving you. Here's why this works for me, and here's why I can afford to give you this." I go, "This is the deal that's on the table." And then there'd be a little bit like, "Oh, well, do you think we can get whatever?" "Yeah, we can do that." "Well, do you think we can get?" "No, we can't do that."
You're a transactional negotiator.
Well, I want, in business, it's best if all parties walk away with something,
Sure.
right? Like,
Yeah.
there's got to be a
By
benefit to everybody, or the relationship doesn't continue.
Right, but you're doing it. Building it based on a transactional basis.
Sort of.
I mean, by one standard, you just said I'm not a long-term guy. The things that you implement.
No, I'm incredibly a long-term guy.
It's most people aren't long term. They're thinking short term, big gains.
I know how not to be a long-term guy, but I don't enjoy those negotiations. Like, that's just a really short-term game.
Okay.
It's a game that I can win,
Yeah.
but even though I win in the room, I lose on the back end.
Because it's short term.
Yeah, because most of the time in business, like, it's one thing if you're just negotiating with a business you're never going to see again. But even then, that reputation's going to get out.
Right.
But if you're negotiating with someone that you have to work with every week, week in and week out. I mean, I was buying from distributors 52 weeks a year.
Yeah.
Like, I was making alcohol purchases every week. I wanted deals. I wanted suppliers to offer promotions. Like, I wanted these things to keep coming in because they supported my business. So, and you can't do it through, like, you can only do so many favors. You're like, "All right, I'll give you this and you give me that." It's like, "I'll do this favor for you even though it's not paying off for me." The best way to do it is to say, "Here's what I'm going to do for you, and here's how I think it works out for you financially. And this is why I want to do it. Here's how it's working out for me financially. This is exactly what I'm getting out of it, and this is exactly what I'm trying to get you to get out of it." And then you sort of tweak it a little bit from there. but you're doing something that serves both parties rather than just making demands. And if they meet them, great. And if they don't, you kick them out of the room.
Yeah.
Which, and a lot of that's just preparation. Anyway, but I don't know what's going to happen in Israel. I mean, they're going to keep fighting.
So so it's Israel
And Hamas.
and Hamas, which is
The governing entity of the Gaza Strip-ish. Like, they have sort of their own... The structure's really strange.
yeah, because it's like 6 factions all right in that little chunk of the world, right?
Well, Gaza's the third most populous stretch of land on the planet.
Okay.
In that tiny little area, there's 2.2 million people.
Holy shit.
And it's been under siege for 15 years now, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what... Listen, I'm so torn on this because partly because I know someone who's on the other side, the side that everyone hates, right?
Right.
Which side is that?
Palestine.
Oh, so
The
Palestine.
disenfranchised people.
They're the bad guys,
What
technically?
Technically.
Okay.
Hamas is part of the Palestinian group in
Oh.
some way. That's their association.
Okay.
Are they like the Republicans in Palestine?
No.
No,
Okay.
they're like ISIS, right?
I wouldn't say that's true either. They definitely do ISIS-like things sometimes.
Well, so I mean, more like Al Qaeda terroristic viewpoints.
I'm not willing to... They do terrorist things, but they're also trying to be a governing agency.
Oh, okay.
Which they're failing at.
Well, but why are they failing?
I mean, if we're talking about them, they're not failing.
Well, but they're the ones that are attacked. They're trying to do. So isn't
They attacked Israel.
for look, they want to acquire more
Territory?
territory.
Well, they want to acquire any territory.
Right. So
They're-
isn't that against something parallel? Or there's something in place where you can no longer attack a country to gain their.
Well, they're trying to gain land they already occupy, Will. The Gaza Strip, where they're located, has been under siege for 15 years. It's walled off from the rest of Israel.
Okay.
The Gaza Strip and the West Bank, what we're really talking about, and this is my problem. Like, should you be bombing someone else? Probably not.
Right.
But they're fighting for the most fundamental things in existence. They're fighting for food and water. They live in squalor, and they've been slowly being starved out by Israel for most of their existence. So, like, what did you expect was going to happen?
They're going to fail.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be pissed off.
Yeah, and in that way, if you're looking at it that way, they're the bad guys at this point because they're starving them, not allowing them water or food, right?
But nobody sees.
Yeah,
it.
they can't really leave.
But that's not
Because they're walled in.
That's not most of the press. Most of the press that we get is how Israel got attacked, and aren't we the victims? You
Well,
know?
that's because press is they always
Bias.
they have their own agenda.
Okay, so in the negotiation that my professor was a part of
okay.
before the Intifada,
Okay.
do you know what the biggest, most difficult part of that negotiation was over?
Resources?
Yeah, but which one?
Water?
Water.
Yep. Failed over water.
Really?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, because
There are 3 aquifers under the West Bank.
okay.
Where do you think all that water goes? Underneath the land where the Palestinians live, where do you think that water goes?
Does it go to Israel?
Yep.
So
So it circumvents the Gaza Strait and goes straight to Israel?
Yep.
they couldn't just like drill and tap into it.
No, because Israel has one of the most technologically advanced armies on the planet.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So they keep them by force from developing water that they need.
But
From developing anything that they need.
don't they
There's,
have
you can
decent-
see videos in the Gaza Strip. There's mountains of trash. They don't have trash service. A lot of times they don't have running water. They don't have food. Like, what do you think these people are going to do?
Most of the time, they recycle all the stuff.
Well,
that
and
they
here's
have.
here's my other question, right? Like, how is it a different terrorist act whether you're bombing a place where innocent people are killed, right?
Right.
Innocent men, innocent women, children are killed. How is that different from slowly starving out people through like of food and water over a decade or two? Also killing those same innocents, but doing it through a tortured existence for a generation. What's the difference? Is my question.
Oh,
There isn't.
there isn't really a difference.
I mean, it's
The
just
only difference is the shock and awe factor. A bomb,
Yeah, right.
shock and awe.
One looks way better on TV.
Exactly. And that's the only difference. But really, you're doing the same thing. It's a terrorist act to deny anybody their rights.
yeah,
Well,
it's-
weren't there guys in the Middle East doing that? We just went over there and kicked their ass.
Yeah, but they weren't Israel. You have to remember, Israel was a creation. It wasn't a country until World War II.
Okay.
Like, it was invented.
Yeah.
as a result of World War II.
Yes, it was invented as a home for the Jewish people after the Holocaust, as a protection to them,
Right.
as a, like, through generations of written history, an oppressed people.
Yeah.
I mean, to be clear, like, the Jewish people have gotten the short end of the stick more times than any people in all of history.
All of history, yeah.
So, I mean, there's a purpose for this, but have they also been delinquent towards Palestine
Yes.
relative to social and civil obligations? 100%.
Now, is it just because the Palestinian people aren't Jewish?
Yeah, they're Muslim.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
So because they lived in the same area. They're basically the same people at this point.
I'd be-
After
I'd-
a few generations of mingling and you know,
And they want their own country, just like the Jewish people have.
and we can't find a country for them.
Well, they want the West Bank and the Gaza Strip.
Oh, so they don't want to move.
No.
Well, where are you going to move to? You can't go, like, you go one direction, you've got Egypt. Like,
Okay.
you have nations in the Middle East that don't want the Palestinians either.
Oh,
So, like, where are you going to put them?
yeah. Okay, that sucks.
And everywhere over there is limited resources. I mean, literally everywhere.
Yeah, because it's all
desert pretty
in
much.
that cluster, right? Like Turkey,
Yeah.
Istanbul. It's like oil and caviar, the only thing they export.
Yeah, you're talking about a place that's had bad resources and has been fighting for a very long time, has very hardened views of each other.
Yes.
But at some point, you have to move past those things.
Well, and that's the thing. They're not moving past it.
Well, it's hard too because when
Well, it's kind of hard. There's no motivation to move past them when one of the groups is as funded by this country as anyone ever.
yeah, because didn't the president say we stand with Israel?
Yes.
Yes.
So we stand with
But we've
the
had a
people
working...
who are starving the other people.
Listen, I think we should stand with Israel, but I also think that we should stand with Israel acting appropriately to its neighbors. And yes, there are elements of the Palestinians that are terrible, terrible people. They're committing terrorist acts. But on some level, you do have to understand their motivation and
Yeah.
probably act accordingly.
No, that's fair.
Because if you take care of those basic needs that they need, it'll probably...
Yeah. Can we
Calm 'em
supply
down.
them with, like, can the World Health Organization take supplies into those areas?
Are we going to? In this country, it's got to be a political hot button, and you have to be on the right side of it for us to do anything. Could we feed everyone in Palestine in perpetuity? Yes.
Yeah.
We are the most resource-rich nation ever.
No, I mean we can
Yes, we are.
we can build a Johnny Rockets and an In-N-Out out of a truck. I think we can send some burgers and fries over to.
But this country refuses to act unless, one, it excites people, and two, you're on the right side of that excitement. It's stupid.
Would that upset
Israel? Yes.
Okay.
Would it accept our friends? Would it upset our friends in the South? The one in particular. What do you think he would say if he heard us talking like this?
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
And he's a relatively moderate.
Fair. That's fair. Didn't think about that.
I mean, these are the views that you're fighting.
Yeah. No. Because that's how the world is right now.
Yeah.
See, I'm glad you're here to clear that up because I was kind of confused about it and I wanted to ask you.
No, and this is, listen, I'm just scratching the surface. Like, this is a very sophomoric analysis.
Like you said, it's been going on for 3,000 years. It's going to keep fighting.
Yeah, and people spend their entire lives dealing with just this problem. I mean, very intelligent, very well-researched people spend their entire careers dealing with this, and they haven't figured it out. We're certainly not going to figure it out on this podcast.
No, that's fair.
But it's far more complex than we stand with Israel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it just is.
No, I get that.
Yeah, that's a political.
It's definitely a hot point.
Not even a hot point. It's a soundbite.
Yeah,
essentially,
it really
to
is.
Yeah. I mean, aren't we throwing a whole bunch of money over there too to Israel?
Oh yeah, every year.
Yeah, we
It's
funded
it's a
with a
lot. No, I
fixed it's fixed aid.
No,
Don't
No,
we-
it's fixed. We don't have to vote for it.
No,
They get like $3 billion a year.
It was fixed after World War II, wasn't it?
No. We redid it. We redo it all the time.
Okay.
but I think there's additional aid that we're pushing that way.
Yeah, but not anywhere near the amounts they already get from us. It's guaranteed every year. Congress doesn't have to vote for it at this point. It just happens.
Oh wow,
Did
It's just
Congress vote for
guaranteed.
it at one time?
Yes.
Okay.
just guaranteed aid.
Yes.
Wow.
Over a certain period of time to a certain amount happens every year.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Like that, unlike aid to Ukraine, which isn't going to happen until the House elects a new speaker and they vote on it, aid's going to Israel regardless of what the
Doesn't-
House of Representatives does.
Doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That issue's already been covered,
Yeah.
essentially.
Well, this isn't a new fight.
Right.
It's the same fight that's
Right.
been going on for many years.
So, speaking of terrorist acts, should, God forbid, but if there was, which way would you attack infrastructure of a country? Would you hit them with an atomic bomb first,
No, it depends on the country.
or nuclear,
No.
and
What-
then hit them with an EMP, or
Well-
EMP first?
No,
and
You
then
don't have to
no,
worry about
no.
that because the atomic bomb will create the own EMP. The thing that you have to worry about is we already have MAD, mutually assured destruction. As soon as one of those nukes goes, everybody sends.
Right.
So that's
Well-
not a thing that we'd even play with.
Well,
But you're thinking too big.
Let's step back away from nuclear weapons for
Yeah.
a second.
You're,
Okay.
you're thinking
What's
way
what's
too
your
big.
goal with the country? Because you're not going to attack infrastructure that you need later to rebuild the country if that's your purpose.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what?
'cause-
What are you trying to do?
Well, ruin the infrastructure
Of
of the country,
but not destroy the country.
but not destroy the country.
But-
so the country can be taken.
But ruining infrastructure destroys lives. Destroys lives of people not involved in warfare.
True.
Like if you're fighting warfare and being humane about it, you want a way to temporarily interrupt infrastructure until you decide to restart it. And you want the shortest restart time possible.
so you cut off supply chains, but keep the supply going.
Well, or turn it back on when you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's kind of the theory that I was looking at.
but also, I mean, like digitally, we're gonna shut them down.
Or what about us getting shut down digitally?
Oh, dude, the as the days go on, like as we keep going, that Die Hard movie gets a lot scarier when you really think about it. Like, was it Die Hard 4?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one with
that legitimately is like, if you think about it, that's starting to get really close to being the most dangerous thing that we could have happen.
yes.
Like we're not fighting the world war with nukes and bombs. It's with ones and zeros on a computer with 5 nerds locked in a room.
But even then, I wouldn't take that out entirely because nerds with a computer can affect a lot, especially nuclear
Well,
capabilities if they manage.
do you remember the interview with the kid when the internet first came out?
No. Was that when he hacked into NORAD?
No, there was like they were like trying to explain the internet as it first came out, and this one kid was like getting interviewed by Congress, and the congressman was like, "So you're telling me that with the laptop and the internet you can?" And he goes, "Oh, I can do anything that you think I can do." He's like, I could change bank accounts. I can shut down this. I can shut down that. He's like, if I have a laptop and access, I can do just about anything and disrupt the entire nation. And it's like really scary when you think about that because we are so digitally
Reliant.
reliant these days. It's kind of spooky.
And if they do it to us, they can do it to anybody else as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the protections are getting better.
Well, we definitely have some of the best protection, I think. But that's
Also, I
just because
think
we
when you're
about
talking
it.
about interrupting infrastructure in this country, mostly what you're talking about is interrupting infrastructure in cities.
Yeah, because rural areas it doesn't really bother
Yeah, I mean,
us too much because they have everything they need.
this country's tricky, right? You'd have to take out ports and transportation across the country.
Oh, dude, this country would be a disaster.
Yeah.
It would like to invade and take it. It would be such a
No,
disaster.
yeah.
This country would be such a mess. It'd be so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. 2 big oceans on either side. Two
So-
small land areas up north, up south.
So I made a purchase
Up south.
A purchase.
that I'm pretty sure he's going to make fun of me for.
Oh yeah, this is
You
it.
might. I'm 100% sure that he's going to make fun of me for it.
God, I hope I can.
All right. What'd you buy?
I bought one of those precision angle knife sharpeners. You put your knife in a clamp, and then you screw down to a particular angle, so the stone is fixed at that angle.
Is that the rolly one? And then you roll
No,
it?
no, no.
No,
This
so
one's
it's set up to
it's
where
the
there's
Work Sharp Precision Elite is what it's called.
It attaches to like a desk or a
No,
stable
this one
area.
has a base.
This one has a base.
It's so yeah.
And then it has a rod that sticks up, and then another rod that connects to it with an adjustment lever. And the rod that's coming straight up, you can come up and down and get the angle for how you want to sharpen your
Yeah,
knife.
depending what knife you have.
Yeah. I've thought about getting it. I wouldn't make fun of you for it. I mean,
Oh, I thought you would make fun of me because I wasn't using just straight whetstones.
Listen, I use diamond dust stones. I use diamond dust. What is that one?
Ooh.
The actual chef one the steel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
The
I have
butcher
a-
steel,
Yeah, I have a butcher steel, which is used
which
for.
is really just for honing.
Yeah, it just takes off that
It takes off the curl.
the curl. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I have one that for sharpening as well. But I'm all for all kinds of sharpeners. I have a belt one, a small one for when I don't want to sit there for hours trying to get a new edge on a knife. Got the belt. Done.
Yeah. So I don't have a lot of space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a garage. I have a whetstone, like a dual-sided whetstone that's decent, but it's always in an awkward spot trying to use it.
You wind up cutting your hand if you're doing it. I do it by hand sometimes, and I hold it. I get the angles right, and you have to hold it at a certain angle.
Yeah. And I just never have the time for it.
Yeah.
And this is like I can put it right in at the angle. I don't have to worry about anything. It's got like 7 different surfaces all the way to leather.
Ooh.
I have So on my Amazon, I have a list of nothing but sharpeners I want to get.
So
That's one of 'em.
I will say the same company makes a field sharpener, which is basically a stone. Well, it's stone, ceramic, might have a leather side. I don't know. It's called a field sharpener.
Yeah.
But at the edges on either side, it has 2 different angles. So when you're in the field on uneven surfaces, you just set it on the angle that's already there, and as long as you can hold it at the preset angle and slide it across,
Oh, that's cool.
you don't have to worry about it. And you can be like it can be set on a log, like on a stump that you're sitting on, like in a super awkward position.
Yeah, so when I first take the knife, depending on the knife, I basically take it flat and I pick it up to the edge. Like I could feel that little change, and then I know where I need to hold it, and then
Yeah.
it's just memory after that of me going back and forth on it.
But I just never have the time. And this just makes it easier.
It is easier, and trust me, I'm not going to make fun of you for it because I've been thinking about getting that too.
It's quick and it does the job.
The only difference is
And it was I got it for like $80 or something.
yeah, they're cheap. You can get one off of Amazon for like 30, and it comes with a bunch of stuff too.
This one was like 119 normally.
You got the Work Sharp Precision Adjust knife?
But the Work Sharp Precision Elite.
Oh, okay.
So you get more
Attachments.
yeah.
No, I've thought about it. I won't make fun of you for it. The only difference is it's precision every time. It's set at that angle. You'll get the right angle every time. Whereas me, mine's off of muscle memory, and if you've never built that muscle memory and learned to do that, you'll always mess up the edge.
Well, I think I could.
You just don't have time and
Well,
you
it's
don't
not
have
that
space.
I don't have space.
Yeah.
Like I don't have space for a full-size whetstone, much less 4 of them.
Yeah, because you're supposed to have all 4 double-sided ones, right?
You don't have to have all 4. You can actually have 2. Go with I go with 120 and then go up to at least 400 because that's what you need on a basic knife usually. But if you want good, pristine sharp, what you got now is perfect.
Oh, dude, this thing is cool.
But yeah, so I picked one up because I don't my biggest problem is I'm always in an awkward position. You're not just trying to hold the angle on the knife. You're trying to you're sitting funny. I don't have a workbench. I don't have a garage.
You're sitting at the table,
Yeah.
trying to leave it on the table and get it to stay where it's at. I just, like I said, I hold my hand, and I've slipped a couple of times and cut my thumb all the way down to the bone. So, It's
That thing is
hard.
cool.
I
Man.
was sure you were gonna make fun of me for that.
No, because
It's like
I'm all about like sharpening knives, and I want all different sharpeners. I have some of the oldest stones. I have one that I picked up from a garage sale that this old man's been using on his chisels for 50 years. And he uses oil. I check it. It still has a nice plane to it. It's perfect. And I picked it up for $10. I'm like, I'll take it.
yeah.
Everybody else just kept passing it by because it kind of looked grungy. But when you actually get down to it and look at it, it's a great sharpener.
And this one for the price, if you buy multiple whetstones with the basins to hold water in it, at that point I'm paying more for those than I did for this.
See, and that's my problem. I get upset at the fact that you have to keep buying different stuff for all these stones. And then I'm like, I know a guy with a 3D printer.
That's right.
It's just a matter of him using a 3D printer for that.
You draw it up, I'll print it.
Anyway, it showed up today.
Did you get to play with it?
No, I haven't said it because today was such a mess.
Oh, fair.
So I got up, had the Zoom call with the programmer
Oh,
for that education platform.
yep.
Went from there straight to the gym.
Okay.
Short workout, straight back, shower, down to take my car in. Had coffee with my dad while my car was getting done. Picked up the car, drove to Reno, hung out with Jeff to say thank you for Napa.
Oh, yeah.
Ran up to Incline, did a quick whiskey run, drove back to my house, picked up the whiskey for the review, drove in here. That's my day.
Yeah, my day
Damn.
wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
day was pretty smooth. I woke up.
Man, your day compared to mine is like, wow.
You get a lot done in your days.
You really do. I woke up, played Call of Duty, and then I was like, I'm gonna take a nap, then come back to work. Like that was my day.
And like my day, I woke up. I went to an IEP meeting for Austin. He's doing really well, and he's close to being out of speech now, which is great. So he's still getting his R's and ERs mixed up and R mixtures. So like green, he says green.
Yeah.
So it's still a little bit of a W in there. He just needs to slow down usually. And it was one more, and it was a weird one. His S's and Z's are a little different. And
Oh, that's just because he's German. It's just a difference.
he's German, yes.
also
Blonde hair,
S's and
blue
Z's.
eyes, German
Yeah,
child.
his blue eyes.
Blue eyes.
He hangs out with his friends. Sometimes they form this axis. One is a Japanese kid, one is Italian. It's fine. They're good friends.
I will say though, Casey, we talked about it before. Remember those conversations I had about the kids and the house and all that?
Yes.
I woke up one day and the wife was cleaning everything.
What?
I know, shocked.
What?
And like I'm trying to figure out her birthday present. I'm like, you actually made this easier. Now I know what to get you. I was like, price wise, I'm like, where should I be at for her birthday gift? And then like as soon as I woke up, I'm like, oh,
Wait, so
That's presently surprising.
Is this recent?
yeah, this was literally a couple days ago.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, perfect. I'm like,
Wow.
you have made my job easier because now I'm willing to spend the money for seeing seeing progress.
Hey.
Which I mean, at some
Baby
point,
steps.
I was irritated and depressed about the house, and now like because I saw that depression is lifting a little bit. And
Feels a
everything.
little better.
Yeah,
See, look at that.
it just took some time.
Yeah, and you said threatened to burn down the house with them in it. I mean, that's really
Hey, we don't talk about that.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
That was
that-
never a threat. I never
we
make
were
threats.
we were totally at the bar that day.
Promises.
He wasn't even near the house. I know.
Great. Now it's out for everyone.
well,
But no,
well, that's good, man. I'm glad that worked out.
So,
Yeah, I'm
so
happy
as a
for it.
result of you getting her a certain present, that was what the
no.
result was?
I've been thinking about her gift for a while. I'm like, what do I get her? I'm like, I get her this, but this might keep her from doing other things that I've been trying to get her to do for a while. And then like when I went out there, I'm like, she was actually doing things, and she was like getting into it and cleaning, and it was great. So, I mean, at that point, I'm like, well, I was thinking about getting a computer for a while and getting one for her specifically. And I'm like, all right, you got a choice between a laptop or a gaming computer. And she wants to do the gaming, but like I was looking at the ones on Amazon and they're like $400 or $500. She isn't bad, but I mean, yeah. But it'd be for her, and I just mess with it every once in a while because I really don't have time to play games all that much anymore. Between work, doing household work, running dump errands, trying to go to the dentist and not miss an appointment. Real life things that
things.
I
world.
struggle with. And with like ADHD, I struggle with sleeping already, so I don't go to bed till like 4 or 5 in the morning. I wake up a little bit later, and I have barely any time to do any of that. So, and work as well. It's not just the days that I work that I'm still focusing on what I need to do. I have to concentrate on the other kids I have under my belt that I'm mentoring. I'm like, all right, what do I need to do for him? Okay, what can I make that'll work for this kid? He has an IEP, he has this, he has that. So I'm still focusing on that even though I'm off. My real only thing that I do fun and active, hi guys, right here. This podcast, the cigar shop. Yeah, this is what I do for fun.
Right on.
And for a minute there, I felt like it was being a chore, but then when I started really thinking about it and like treating it like it was fun, and it is fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy coming up here, seeing you guys, even though I get disappointed looks, weird smiles,
Accused of being a harasser.
Accused of being a harasser, being able to destroy a cigar because I'm a Hoover vacuum,
I mean, you're not a Hoover vacuum.
What, like a Dyson?
That was a
Sure.
double negative.
I know it was.
That was a double negative.
Disappointed looking face.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
He's just sitting over there waiting. He's like, is he about to talk? Is he about to talk?
I just,
Boom.
just need to say
Boom.
double
Hit it.
negative right now.
Yeah, that's double negative. Sorry. Just,
This is how I beat
Oh my
him.
God. You guys, I can't believe you did that rum review when I wasn't here.
I told you it was.
It was so bad.
And like, look, you should be happy.
It was atrocious.
well, I wasn't going
In
to do
case-
a good thing without you here.
In case anyone has also seen the rum review, my number was a 36 after the fact.
I was closer
I think there
than-
were bets placed on what I would score it.
was Definitely, we were definitely both off.
Oh, that was bad.
I wasn't that far off.
Do you want some more?
No, I don't. I'm perfectly happy with my barrel pick right
James
here.
brought it, so blame James.
Listen, Casey.
I know. James and I need to have a talk about good rum.
Listen, Casey likes that rum.
Casey likes Fireball.
That is true.
Bum, 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 bum. Fireball.
How do you not have that sound effect yet?
He has to download and
I gotta
save
download it, man. I should though. Fireball. Every time you bring it up, that song's gonna play.
it. He'll stop bringing it up.
Yeah, well then
I'm literally trying to relight my cigar.
Sorry. Hey. Somebody step on a cat.
Never should have given him that soundboard.
It's the best job.
It was
ever.
the only place it can go
You know what? The
because
people
I needed a
the
laptop.
The
here.
people watching.
All for you guys. All for you.
I'm buying a bigger table.
I mean, we have
You know,
other
that's really
tables.
just man. It's really.
Holy shit.
It's like 19. I'm a. You want some of this? You put
Dirty pool.
every time.
This is straight up bullshit. Look, not even on mine. He's just like, nope, he's going to say it. Everybody can hear it. Now they can't hear it. Thing I say.
I should just start cursing over here like a sailor.
You wish you were a sailor. Oh, no, that's not true.
What's
No.
that?
No, you don't wish you were a sailor?
No.
Why not?
Couldn't tell you.
You
Just
couldn't
not
be a
my
radar
deal.
man? You
Just
couldn't be a
not-
can of
I
tuna?
probably puke all the time. That's
Couldn't be in the same bed
What?
with another man?
easy, girl.
What?
Thank you, sir.
Somehow this degenerated quickly.
It's the soundboard's fault. No, it can't be the soundboard's fault. It's the guy running the soundboard's fault.
I don't know. It's pretty entertaining so far.
I like it,
Well, but of course you do.
but of course. Will.
Holy hell! All right, what else is going on? I got to go over to Russian River,
Yeah.
How
out
was
to
that?
Windsor, and had lunch and bought some good beer. That's good.
Well, yeah.
They do a really good job.
Russian River never disappoints.
No,
Neither does Mad Fritz.
But
no, and I picked up some Mad Fritz beer too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it the ale, the autumn stuff?
I picked up 4. They're all different. So I got one that's like a pale lager mixed with a cider,
Oh,
barrel fermented cider,
okay.
which I'm looking forward to.
That might be good.
I got his Dunkelweiss. I got a couple others.
What is
Do
the
they do an
Dunkelweiss?
Oktoberfest?
No, they don't do a traditional Oktoberfest.
What is a Dunkelweiss?
It's just a style of beer.
Okay.
I remember what else I got. He's got, so his beers change. So all his beers, barrel fermented, so barrel carbonated,
Okay.
all aged in some sort of wine barrel or oak barrel that hasn't seen wine yet.
Oh,
And everything's origin. So whether it's where everything was malted, where the grains come from, the water comes from, it's all listed on the bottle. You can see the origin for everything.
oh,
wow.
It's all super it's $25 a bottle.
How big
it's
is
all
the bottle?
chargers. They're 22 ounce. They're chargers.
okay.
And all traditional swing arm chargers, all bottled in his micro distillery, which is barely the size of our cigar shop.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just his super high end beer project because he's not he started in the fermentation program at Davis on beer. Now he makes wines for a place he's making wines that are $500 a bottle and making a lot of money doing it.
Oh, so this is
So
a
he's
side
good at
project.
it.
Yeah. This is his personal project. He finally got successful enough that he could do this on the side. You either have to get really lucky, go by there when someone's there to buy beer, or mostly you just have to make an appointment. You're like, hey, I want to come by and buy some beer. But his beers, because of that, it's all super small batch. It changes.
So you telling me you got lucky when you got down there, or did you set up the appointment?
No. I was up in St. Helena where his place is anyway.
Got it.
That day, and I just went by, and they were in there doing something.
Then you're like, perfect.
And he won't. I won't say that we're friends, but I've run across him enough times, and we've spent enough time talking that he doesn't mind if they're busy. I can knock on the door, even if it's locked. And when he walks up and sees me, he'll let me in and sell me some beer.
Are you sure
Nice.
that's not a friend?
That's a friend.
That's a friend.
I mean, I don't want to say he's incredibly successful and doing some really cool stuff.
You're not getting invited to his wedding, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like you're trying to schmoze him or anything. You legitimately, it's not a close friendship, but I would still consider it a friendship. at that
No, and I
point.
mean, every time I'm down there, I go buy beer from him.
Yeah.
so
Because it's just such a cool project.
yeah.
It's not like a traditional. It's not even like a microbrew. It's not even like it's a nano brewery.
It's one step above a personal brew.
Yeah, from someone who's really, really talented.
Yeah.
When's he getting in a whiskey?
Is he?
I don't know. I should ask him if he's going to start making whiskey.
Would
Let's
you
make
would
some
you
bourbon.
say he's on par with the Russian River guy?
Yeah,
talent?
they're different, but yeah,
Equal levels of talent.
yeah.
Okay.
He's not a huge IPA guy.
Oh, that's
is
fair.
the biggest difference between him and the rest of the beer world. He makes a couple of IPAs, and one of them is phenomenal. His double IPA, it's like a malted double IPA. It's amazing.
Shit, and you don't even
it's
care
incredible.
for IPAs usually.
I'm not a huge. I like
Yeah, I don't like
well
IPAs either.
done, well balanced single IPAs. When you start talking about doubles, to me it's like drinking perfume.
Too hoppy.
It's not hoppy.
Yeah,
There's
it's-
something else about it. It gets this perfumey note that I just have no use for.
Yeah.
It loses all its balance. All the West Coast IPAs, all the juicy IPAs, they're so out of balance. I just don't care for them.
I think you're right in that because I had there was one made by a band and I forget what it's called, but it had a perfume note like you said. And it was
Did it have
Kinda
a
foul.
skull on the silver can?
yes sir.
Yep, it was. Oh shoot, I don't even remember. I can't think
Bride
of.
something.
No. It's
It was made by Belching Beaver, I think.
yeah, it is a Belching Beaver beer for sure. I can't remember the band. But I've had it before
I
a
thought it
ton
was
of times.
something Bride. 'Cause,
Oh, the beer is something bright, but I forget the band that's behind it.
uh,
That's not the band name.
no, that's one of their album names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too big into that. I tried it. The first one was pretty good, and then after that, after they started producing it more often, it started getting that more of a fragrance note because they changed it.
I can tell you, if I pour an IPA into a glass and it's yellow, I'm out.
Phantom Bride is the name of that beer.
Yeah.
If it's yellow,
Yeah, because it means they
Deftones?
didn't balance it out with any sort of malt structure at all.
Was it the Deftones?
Yes, it is, for
There
sure.
you go.
interesting.
Seems like it took me a minute.
I thought because I thought IPA is supposed to be dark.
The original ones were.
Oh,
And they don't need to be red,
okay.
but they should have a darker tint to them.
Yeah.
And if not, like if it just comes out and it's pale yellow, it's a juicy or a hazy. And it's just got no structure to it at all. It's just all acid and hops.
See, I like a good amber stout.
I mean, I love well-aged stouts, barrel-aged stouts. I like good stouts. Amber's kind of
We-
boring.
we got spoiled.
Well, I just like the amber
those-
more than the other one.
Sierra Nevadas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those were so
Sierra
good.
Nevada has some really cool small projects. Most people don't realize that, but they do.
Those ones we got to try were fantastic.
Where'd you try them at?
In here.
Gary.
Gary.
Dude.
Gary.
He didn't recognize me. I don't think.
You saw him?
Did you see him?
He was in Fumare 3 weeks ago.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Long hair,
Yep.
Gary?
100% it was Gary.
Did you say hi?
No, I was going to, because he was sitting talking to somebody and I was talking to Jeff.
Yeah.
And it was crowded, so we're actually at the bar.
Oh.
And he was sitting over in the chairs that aren't part of the group.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there talking to Jeff, and I had my back to him, but it was 100% him. Like you can't miss him. The like driver cap with the feather in it.
Yep.
Wearing the same flannel.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
That's Gary.
and I went to turn around. We were finishing up. I went to turn around to go say something to him. They were gone.
Oh.
But dude, and I heard him from a distance talk about Puyere.
Oh, yeah. That's Gary. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Damn, you should have said something to him.
I know. I wanted to. I wanted to go talk to him.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Because he doesn't come up?
It's
Yeah.
been years.
Yeah, he doesn't come up.
But he's at least sometimes in Reno.
Well, that's good. That's good to know.
I wonder. We probably still have his number somewhere.
I texted him, but I didn't
Nothing?
get a response back, so I don't know if he does still have the same number.
I don't think he
Maybe
recognized
try and
me.
call it.
Fair.
I mean, you did have a beard.
Yeah, that's true.
But the beard is very KGB.
Good.
Dude, I don't know what it is. My look, people don't recognize me. If they met me with one, they don't recognize me with the other.
That's because you're two different people.
Yeah.
And we've known you for a while, so we've seen both.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Goatee Lane. No goat.
Whoa. Evil Lane? No,
Evil Lane,
we
yeah.
don't put that in the universe.
I kind of want to see
The
that.
last time Goatee Layne made an appearance was high school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Full beard in high school.
No, goatee. Never wore a full beard in high school.
But was
I did the
able to grow
goatee thing for a
goatee?
while. Yeah.
Oh,
I can grow an exceptional goatee.
but like I'm like looking at you, and I know it's exceptional, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'd like to see that. Evil Lane.
Casey's seen it. I sent him a photo.
Yes, I have seen the goatee. Because he
When I shaved off
he
my beard, I
yes.
shaved out a goatee
He shaved-
first and
he was
sent him a
like-
photo.
He was like, "I'll prove to you one time." And he was like, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Holy Jesus!"
You didn't save that?
No,
Where is
it was scary, man. It was terrifying.
That would have been the perfect photo for right now.
It's the
Yeah.
first. It's like the first time you see Spock with the goatee, and you're just like, "What the hell is that?"
You're gonna have to redo that photo.
Next time you shave, yeah,
no,
everybody has to get it.
I have one proud photo of Layne that I have saved.
Really?
Yes, and it's you wearing the ugly Star Trek Christmas.
Oh, God. Of course it is. Should have known.
Yeah, I should have known that one.
Because it's hilarious.
Okay, let's make that the thumbnail.
He would have to not have me edit the thumbnails for that to happen.
That is true.
Or like, you edit the thumbnail, but I just replace it with a different thumbnail.
I mean, you got to send it to
And
him,
he just
right?
goes, "You son of a bitch."
You asshole.
Yeah, it's the only picture I have.
I did like the Halloween where I shaved out the handlebars.
The handlebar was
The handlebars.
the
Yeah.
handlebar. He had the Wyatt Earp.
Mustache.
He looked
Oh,
like
yeah.
Wyatt Earp.
Mustache.
While you were bartending down
Yep.
there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I had people pulling on it all night long because they didn't think it was real.
Full on, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
All
like
night long, they were pulling on it.
Tombstone while at Wyatt Earp. That's,
Oh, yeah, no, I looked like a Wild West bartender.
Yeah.
I wish I could grow a better mustache that wasn't two-toned. Then I could do that at least
they
once.
they make cocoa butter 60, man. Do you need some?
Cocoa butter 60?
Yeah, you just brush it in, and it's
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. Disappointing rulings in all the 2A cases.
Yeah, I saw that.
really.
Yeah. The Supreme Court is not showing a willingness for emergency orders at all. Like, they're not going to act until they get these cases on the merits after a full appellate hearing.
Oh, so they have to go through the ringer of actual being in courts.
Yep.
Oh, that's
That's how it's going to work out. However, almost all of these cases, because they're all coming up in super blue states, right?
right.
And all of these circuit courts that are finding against the Second Amendment, they're citing the same line out of the Bruin case, which is Clarence Thomas's line,
Okay.
where he says the Second Amendment is not an absolute and is subject to certain restrictions just like any other right. And they keep citing that. But what they're doing is guaranteeing that because Clarence Thomas is going to write the next 2A decision, unless he declines to do it, which he won't because he's the most senior justice on the right.
Right.
So the only one who can take it from him is the Chief Justice, and he won't.
Right.
So Clarence Thomas is going to write the decision.
Okay.
And he is going to cite specifically all of the decisions that quoted his line. He's going to cite them by name in the footnotes and in judicial language, tell them that they're all idiots. It's going to happen.
Nice.
That would
That's
be great.
all, and they're guaranteeing every time one of these circuit courts uses it against the decision that he wrote, they're further guaranteeing that he does that. 100% that's happening.
So you're just waiting so you could read those footnotes.
That's
Oh, I love reading those decisions. I love reading decisions where one judge slaps down another judge. Like, they're great.
See, and I know you do, and that's
But
why
it-
you watch that
but
more frequently.
You have
than
to be
we
able
do.
to read into that.
Yeah.
Like the average person's not going to see that. Like it takes a specific eye
Not
to
just the
catch
average-
those smackdowns.
And not just the average person, the average lawyer is probably not going to recognize
no,
it.
I still think the greatest lawyer for 2A was that guy for the New York case.
Oh, yeah, he was
That dude
talented.
was fantastic. Like I want that dude on every 2A case there is because that guy was just brilliant.
I mean, all these things are going to get knocked down eventually.
Yeah.
It's just a question of how long it takes to get to the Supreme Court on the merits. Magazine bans, rosters, like all these limitations on moral character for concealed carry, it's all going to get knocked down.
I still can't
Unless the
believe
court
they did
changes drastically in the next 18 months, it's all going to get knocked down.
that. Yeah, I still can't believe you have to do that background check for MO in California.
Oh, I know.
That's
God.
just atrociously obnoxious.
Yeah, also
they
knocked
voted
down.
it in.
It's
Yeah.
all going away.
Good.
It's just a question of when it gets to the court.
How
Yeah.
long is it going to take?
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty close on a couple.
Are they?
I don't know how long the Ninth Circuit's going to hang on to the magazine ban case before they hear it. And then how long they hang on to it after they hear it before they issue a ruling. But as soon as it does, they're appealing to the Supreme Court.
Right.
My guess is they're going to take that one or the one out of Texas because they have substantial records. Like, they have enough material that they can make real rulings on.
What about the wackadoo that's a constitutional convention? He suggested that?
Oh, do you know how hard that is?
No, I have no idea.
It's hard. It's the only other way to create a constitutional amendment or alter the Constitution that isn't a traditional vote of both houses achieving a supermajority plus a ratification of 2/3 of the states. 2/3 or
2/3.
or 3/4.
2/3.
Yeah,
2/3 majority.
of the states.
Oh.
So that would be a process of, what, years? Decades?
Yeah, I mean, technically, if they had the backing, you could call a constitutional convention next month, but
They don't have
it's
the
so
backing.
hard.
To satisfy the
And there's a bunch
requirements.
of legal questions. Do you have to name the issues discussed in a constitutional convention? Or if you call a constitutional convention for a specific issue, can you discuss whatever you want and change other things in the convention, even though that's not what the convention's stated purpose was? There's a bunch of legal questions about constitutional conventions generally because they're so rare.
So they're more restricted.
Maybe, maybe not.
Oh.
We don't know.
Interesting.
There's never been a legal decision on it.
Really?
Yeah.
When was the last one called? Do you know?
Oh, 1700s is my guess.
Holy shit.
Really? That far back?
I think all the other amendments were ratified through the traditional process.
It's kind of hard to get the like you said, you have to have a good backing for it to
Right.
begin with.
Yeah, all the states have to, well, a certain number of the states have to agree. I think it's 3/4. I think it's 75% plus one.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's not an easy thing to accomplish.
No, that wouldn't be.
So you could have done it when Reagan was in office.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
FDR.
FDR, Nixon.
Yeah, amending the Constitution is not an easy process, even more so now that we're so polarized as a country.
And it shouldn't be. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
This is like the people are like, we're getting rid of the Electoral College. Like, yeah, you're really not.
Yeah, you don't know what that
That's
means.
a problem for you.
So,
But you don't want to get rid of the Electoral College. The side that's losing or that's moving too slow wants to get rid of the Electoral College. But if you get rid of the Electoral College, it's a problem for both sides, just at different times.
Oh.
Right. Makes sense.
Are you looking up the rules of?
No, I was
Constitution
curious when the last time the Constitution was amended.
Oh, what is it? 26th Amendment.
You were close. It was the 27th Amendment
Okay.
in 1992.
What was that?
It was amendment to the Constitution of the United States that required any change to the rate of compensation for members of the U.S. Congress to take effect only after the subsequent election in the House of Representatives.
Okay.
So they fixed their income.
Well, they said you can vote on a pay raise, but you might not be here when it goes into effect.
Yeah, because it has to go through the other one first.
yes.
Wow.
Like you're going to have to survive an election to get the pay raise.
As you should. That's how it should be, though. Well, even then, I mean, they get paid astronomically, don't they?
Oh, I was
They get
gonna say-
paid pretty well, and they get it's one term in Congress. I think it's 3 terms, or it's one term in the Senate. I think it's 3 terms in the House of that they get lifetime health care. They're part of the retirement plan straight out of the gate.
When are you going to hop in there?
Probably never. I'm not electable,
No?
especially after this nonsense.
Oh, no. This nonsense is perfect. Listen, that's what my question was going to be, because eventually it's going to come to a time where people have had social media for a long amount of time, been in podcasts and all this,
Right.
and they're going to be...
My problem is I don't fit on either side of the line for every issue. So, like, I'm super far right on things like Second Amendment. I'm super far left on things like socialized medicine. And I make practical arguments for all of them. I don't care about the platform.
yeah.
Like, I argue for socialized medicine based on economic issues, right? I argue for Second Amendment because every government in the history of the world's gone bad.
Yes.
Every single one. Like, I make arguments based on my personal reasoning. I don't care that this group over here believes in this and this group over here believes in that. That's not part of my thinking. Sometimes it is. Because some of the things in politics really just come down to what do most of the people want.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things, the people aren't vetting the issue, aren't vetting complex issues.
No, they're listening to somebody else vet them and listening to the opinion.
So I'm going to make an argument that I think is right, and then I'm going to tell them how I'm going to act about a thing. But I don't fit, like, there's no super PAC on the left that would have me and no super PAC on the right that would have me.
Yeah.
So unless I'm independently wealthy and can fund my own campaign, I'm never get elected to anything.
Yeah.
This amendment's crazy.
What's that?
The 27th Amendment.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it prevents members from Congress from granting themselves pay raises during the current session. Rather, any raises that are adopted must take effect during the next congressional session. The amendment was introduced to Congress in 1789 by James Madison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a constitutional amendment. There's the Equal Rights Amendment. Still hasn't been ratified.
Yeah.
And I think it passed in the 80s
Oh, wow.
through Congress.
That's crazy.
But the states they still need like 2 more states to ratify it.
yeah, so this one says it was 1789 that James Madison put it up. It was until 1992, however, after public displeasure with repeated congressional pay increases, that they required 3/4 of the states ratified the measure.
So it is 3/4.
Yes, it is 3/4.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It took us that long to ratify.
No, it's a slow, arduous process.
Yeah.
But no, that's why I won't get elected. Because I could get elected to local politics maybe. But nationwide politics,
You could pull off mayor, possibly governor.
yeah, forget it. Because I don't fit either. Governor, no deal.
No?
Governor of a small state, maybe.
Wyoming?
Yeah, maybe.
No, I was hoping for this state.
Montana,
Montana. Oh,
Montana.
the Dakotas.
Dakotas. Yeah, for sure.
But
Nevada, you know what? I think Nevada, maybe.
I think it's a possibility.
It'd be close. That'd be like the biggest one I think you could probably get.
The only ones you have to worry about is Reno and Vegas for votes.
well, I would get votes on the left for certain positions that I have. They'd be terrified of other positions that I have. But then I can say the same thing about right. I would get votes on the right for certain positions that I have, but they'd be terrified of other positions.
Right.
Like you mentioned socialized medicine to the right, and they freak the fuck out.
Yes.
And honestly, the idea that people can go into medical bankruptcy in the wealthiest country that has ever been known is ridiculous.
And you could go to Korea, get
The
a whole
idea
dental
that
thing checked out. and
the
be
idea
fine.
that people can't afford insulin for chronic disease when it costs us all of
29 cents.
yeah
Yeah.
to create a dose, and we're charging $400 a month or something stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there are people that can't afford insulin to survive. Again, in the wealthiest country that's ever been known,
Yeah.
is
Ridiculous.
massively delinquent.
Yeah. If you don't think Big Pharma's working their way through, that's,
Oh, dude, Big
The
Pharma
number
is
one.
such a scam.
yeah.
Katie Porter is a congresswoman out of somewhere in Southern California.
Okay.
Irvine, maybe? No, it's not Irvine. Riverside, maybe? Anyway, she had in a hearing one of the executives, top executives from a big pharma company.
Oh.
And she starts grilling him. And she's got bubbles. And she's asking about dollar amounts spent on things. And he's like, well, I can't really. And she's like, let me stop you there. You spent this much on whatever. And she's like, so what do you think the percentage that you spent on R&D versus the percentage of CEO salaries and marketing? And he's like, well, I didn't really come prepared. And she's like, let me stop you there. And the bubble's like 5 times the size. It was amazing.
That's. Yeah, I saw one. I don't know who it was, but it was like some lady. It was in Canada. It was like because they were there, the prime minister, and they were speaking French. But she was grilling this other chick about like all of the bills and expenses she's been using in the office, and then one of them was like, "Well, she spent $117,000 on dry cleaning." And that's like the beginning of this laundry list of other expenses that she's had. So it was like car expenses, dinner expenses. It was all these expenses that apparently her office had paid for. And she just like totally blew the other chick out of the water. And then it cuts to the other chick. And basically she's like, well, Mr. Prime Minister, we'd have to look into that auditing process and really see what's going on here to come up with the answers. The Prime Minister's like, I'm pretty sure she just told you all the answers.
She laid it out for you.
No, I mean, these people just get in front of Congress and lie.
Yeah.
They just lie. And it's, look, the right does it for issues they care about. The left does it for issues they care about.
Yeah.
The people that fund the right and the left do it for the issues that they're funding the right and left over. Like, it's just a disaster.
Why everyone needs to wear sponsorship
It's
jackets.
a giant fucking money grab.
Yes.
You know, that could be soon. You never know.
I
Sponsorship
want
jerseys.
Sponsorship jackets
I
all
want
day,
a
every day.
website where you can trace all of the money, who it's donated by, like who's funding the super PAC. You know that, like, dude, the numbers, it's like 85% of all political donations come from 27 people in this country.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah.
That's
Isn't
Disgusting.
that public information?
That's what I'm saying. But you need a website where it's all distilled into a user-friendly interface, right? Where you can take a fucking candidate and track him to who's donated, what super PACs have donated to him, then track those super PACs to different people, then take those people and track them to what issues they support, and then you can loop it back around. Oh, he's going to vote this way because this person donated this to his campaign through this super PAC. Like, this needs to be just a super easy interface that everyone can access for free. And as soon as a candidate starts running, they just go in and start clicking through, right?
It's like NFL stats.
Yeah, no, exactly. NFL stats for politicians.
Like what's their contract worth? What are they getting paid?
Yeah.
How many yards are they going to put down for us?
Like,
How many fumbles do they have in congressional hearings?
yeah. Yeah, how many times do they go against their donors? Like, I want all of this.
Oh, and that's got to be all public information, right?
Oh, dude, you could vet it all.
So it would be
You could vet it all.
It's just a matter of doing the research.
It's just a matter of someone thinking it's worthwhile and putting the money into building it. Because you need a team.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I mean,
That would be amazing.
I mean, you better believe if I was a billionaire, I would have it. Like, I would do it.
And then you just put it out there, and then everybody sees it.
Oh, yeah.
Then you're just like, "Hey, I'm here."
And then
I'm
people
not
be
backed
like,
by anybody.
"That's not true. We didn't." I'm like, "Well, let's look at the record, shall we?" Yeah.
Mr. Senator, are you sure you want to go down this path?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go down that road there.
Oh, I would be the guy that they would be terrified of talking to.
I think it'd be fun.
Like, do you really want to debate me on this?
I'd watch it.
I brought evidence. Yeah.
That's the thing is, they like during a debate, is it so much to ask for to have the person that's doing the talking have an earpiece so that they can have the smart people talking to them and giving them real stats? I just want real figures when
I
you're
want
debating.
stats that people break down properly, right? Like this garbage stat that they're like, guns are the #1 killer of children. All right, fine. But you're implying something that's not true. Your implication, because it's the media-friendly, exciting thing to watch, is mass shootings. But take out drug violence,
Yeah.
basically 15 to 19-year-olds,
Yeah.
and take out suicides,
Yeah.
and more people drown in pools than die by a
Well,
handgun.
even then, you'd have to take out gang violence as well, because a lot of them are
Well,
kids
I'm
now.
counting drug violence and gang violence, basically, or
Got it. Intertwined.
yeah.
You just go with the one you use it for fear.
But if you take out the gun violence, where the person who died was also trying to commit a felony,
yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
and then you take out suicide, because suicide has no business in that statistic, those people are going to find a way.
Yeah.
That's a separate issue,
Yeah.
right? The means is not the purpose.
No.
Take those out, and more kids die in a pool.
Yeah.
Like, let's at least be intellectually honest with our statistics. Let's not try and glass people over for our purpose.
Well, that's what
Let
it
them
is.
give them the act, like what the statistic really means, and let them have an opinion. And if they still think guns are bad, fine. But let's at least present it honestly.
Yeah.
Let's take big pharma. Let's take out this R&D bullshit, because R&D is mostly funded by the university system, which they get massive tax breaks for.
Right.
Take that out. Let's present what they're really spending money on and decide if we think it's okay to charge $1,200 for a pill that cures cancer so that some jackass can make $120 million a year.
Right.
Like, let's break down these things to numbers that make sense and not use statistics to try and glass over the population and have a real conversation.
Oh, you're asking too much.
I'm not.
You're
I'm
asking too
asking what everybody should be doing. That's the only way this country runs properly. It's the only way.
People are dumb.
This whole idea that, I can't trust these people to make a decision because they don't know all the facts, but I do because I'm doing this job, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so self-aggrandizing, it's stupid. Like, we are the most self-involved people in the world, and it makes me sick.
I agree.
Well, I mean, the thought process behind that is, if it's not about me, why should I care?
Well,
Well, because it's all about you.
Well, yeah.
And more importantly, all right, here's the thing
But
that
that's
we've...
how the thought process is right now.
Here's the thing that every special interest has forgotten when they're fighting for the one thing they care about, and I don't care what it is. We all take advantage of the labor of others. Whether it's me driving on someone's road, or someone coming here to smoke a cigar, or someone going to a restaurant to get dinner. We are all taking advantage of other people's labor. They contribute to our lives, right? That's just a thing. We all have both social and civic responsibilities. And this hedonistic, self-involved, self-aggrandizing bullshit ignores all of that and makes us all a bunch of twats. Like,
Yeah, no.
You're not wrong.
Well, it's like the car versus plane thing.
Yes.
You know, like so many people have this irrational fear of like dying in a plane crash, and yet no one thinks twice about getting in their car to go drive to a liquor store.
Yeah,
when
right,
There's
like-
6 million traffic accidents a year, give or take.
If the plane does go down, yeah, you're probably going to die.
yeah,
But there's going to be like 30,000 car accidents before one plane
Before
goes
plane
down.
goes down.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Or more.
Yeah. I mean, that number was completely made up.
Yeah,
It was made up to prove a point. I have no idea what the number is. My guess is it's actually bigger.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's 6 million car accidents a year in the United States alone.
Yeah.
Just in the United
Just
States.
in the United States. That's how many car accidents happen in a year.
And maybe like
And
4 or 5 for planes.
No, you count Cessnas and stupid shit. You're probably
Oh, yeah.
talking about 100.
yeah, I mean,
150.
small, if you think of like small plane accidents, which happen a lot, yes. But these are people we're talking about jumbo jets that they're afraid are going to crash.
Yeah, and we're also, even if it could be 500, 500 into 6 million is still a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering there are like 12 million flights a year, give or take. I mean, not anymore because, you know, they kick people off and cancel them, but there used to be.
No, but it's true. But the responsibility thing, like we have a responsibility to other people.
Yes.
And this whole like, and it's the same thing I've ranted about before, like this whole like good energy only, like positive vibes only. Dude, sometimes you owe something to other people. It's
Yeah.
just a thing. And sometimes what you have to offer that other person for that obligation is gonna kind of suck. And it's your job to do it anyway.
Yeah. That's fair.
Anyway,
Because you made
that's
the
what I got.
commitment.
Yeah, because you've chosen to take advantages of all the thing that society offers you. Like you don't get that for nothing.
No.
Yeah. You have to give back something.
Yeah.
Unless
Anyway.
you rob a bank.
I'm still stuck on the website that has all the statistics of.
Oh, I
those-
want that so bad.
I
I
think-
would if I
Here's
listen,
here's
If
the
we
problem.
can make
though.
that like a college
Here's the
thing.
problem. If that website existed, William Hill would also be taking bets
oh
tomorrow.
Yeah, but listen,
during
more,
every
pe-
voting.
place the bets.
more people would use the website if
Oh.
you could gamble on it.
Oh, if you could gamble on it? Are you kidding me?
Then it-
Fucking A.
That website will bring more revenue. So I mean, it's plausible
Hang
at
on.
this point.
Well, the thing is,
Congressional
how do you-
fantasy?
how do you
Where's
get-
my congressional fantasy?
Right?
I'm drafting 72, baby. Let's go.
The real question though is how do you monetize that website? In other words,
you don't. You don't want it
It's free.
monetized.
I know you can't.
but you can sure as shit
You-
gamble on it
you
afterwards.
100% do not want an ulterior motive to a website like that.
Right.
That has to operate completely independently.
It needs to be like Wikipedia.
So how do you do that? That's the
What if
question.
it
well, you
was
have to fund it. I mean, listen,
Somebody's got to fund it.
we have people giving billions of dollars to idiot politicians.
Yeah.
We can give a couple $100 million to a website.
You don't think
No
Bill
doubt.
Gates would
For a
sp-
proper
would-
purpose,
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't think Bill Gates would spare a couple $1 million to support your data selection?
No, he
system?
wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
He wouldn't because
Because he's
Oh yeah,
part of
because
the
he's
problem.
part of it.
he's staked out positions. He's one of the people.
Yeah.
He's one of the 27 funding politicians.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like if this was like a college project, maybe a couple kids might hop in on it.
Oh, you would need the entire class of MIT working on this fucking project.
I don't
think it'd
think
be
you
perfect.
would.
I don't
I
think
would
it's
take.
that
dude,
difficult.
7-man team, maybe.
I think you need. I mean, I'm guessing here. You probably need 10 to 12 competent programmers, and 20 to 30 exceptional journalists.
Oh,
That way
Like
they could get the
research
data.
journalists.
research journalist.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that's probably your team, plus a couple of admin people
Right.
and a marketing guy
Perfect.
or girl, obviously.
Whatever.
But yeah,
I think it's perfectly capable then.
I think it's entirely conceivable if you just got to find some funding for it. But
Yeah.
that would help our system so much. Like, let's just track the politicians to the money. You'll know exactly how they're going to vote.
Yep.
You'll know the ones that don't, the ones that take funding and still vote their conscience or still vote, like, can change their mind regardless of how much money a donor gave them who turns out was wrong.
Would you have their previous voting history?
Oh,
included as
I
well?
have everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that there's a number of people that would look at that and go, "Oh, that's false." That's what was the common term?
Fake news.
Yeah, fake news.
That's fake news.
That's fake news.
Well, that's fine. Let them. Listen, there's a whole bunch of other people that would look at it and see which politicians are funded by which people that also support their positions, and they would vote for those people based on what they were funding. But at least the information would be out there.
But I
If
mean-
you want to use it improperly, fine.
But even then, if they said it was fake news, you still have people looking at the website, and they're always going to go back to it, so they can either say,
Well, I mean, you make it so it's easy to prove it's not fake.
yeah,
Yeah, no, you link up citations to your sources.
Yep.
Like you would have to back it all up.
Yeah.
You couldn't. It would have to be as legitimate as possible.
Yeah.
And if there was, you'd probably have to give it percentages. Like if you weren't sure, if it wasn't 100% public record, you'd be like, based on what we can see, we're 70% sure this is who funded this for this reason.
Right. Because some of that money's going to be hidden somewhere.
it usually is.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, there's always going to be, for some things, there's always going to be some level of uncertainty. Just tell them where it exists. This is where we're not sure. This is where we're 100% sure.
And this senator bought a $50,000 toilet. We're not really quite sure what do you do with a $50,000 toilet, but
Yeah.
it probably wasn't a $50,000 toilet.
Somehow he bought El Chapo's gold toilet. We're not sure where that money came from.
I mean, it
Or
better be
where
the most
El
comfortable.
Chapo's toilet came from.
Dude, they still haven't found that El Nino guy.
Oh,
I can't believe that whole prison had a petting zoo and spa and pools and playgrounds and
That guy had a hookup.
it was a prison in Venezuela, and like 11,000 troops stormed this prison looking for this El
did
Nino
you
guy.
air quote prison there?
Prison, yeah, because it's not really a prison. Turns out
a daycare.
it looks like prison on the outside. On the inside, they legitimately had pools and really comfortable housing and playgrounds with playground equipment and a petting zoo. It had a fucking petting zoo.
That's a little weird.
It had everything but the guy they were looking for, and everybody went, "How the fuck did they build this resort in this prison and
Yeah.
nobody knows about it?"
Was
What the
literally
hell?
no one paying attention.
Because the word was prison, and everybody's like, I'm not going to go there. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, well, you tell it, but they had guards. Someone
Exactly.
had to truck in all that concrete.
Well, I'm just saying they
Well,
have guards and everything,
I
but
mean, do lifeguards really count as guards?
They do in this prison.
When it's the closest thing you have, why not?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
How many pools? Oh, we need 5 lifeguards.
Yeah, because they had 5 pools.
Per shift. Per shift.
It's ridiculous. The pictures are ridiculous. It doesn't look like a prison.
Oh, I bet
You're like,
not.
how did nobody notice? Like, what is going on here? Yeah, El Nino.
El Nino.
Oh
Or
my
El,
God.
El Nino, I guess is
El
his
Nino.
name. Yeah, El Nino is his name.
El
El
Nino
Nino
is
is a
the
weather
heat.
system.
Yeah, it's also the name of a prison-based cartel
Drug
leader.
cartel
The cartel was born in the prison system,
how
and this
funny.
El Nino guy is like the leader. Somehow he took over, and again, he was the only thing missing from the prison.
Of course.
They were like, we're sure he's here, but he's not.
Both El Nino and El Nino probably helping people ski this year.
Different kind of powder. In Venezuela, it's a different kind of powder.
Oh my God! How long have we been going? We've got to be over an hour.
115.
1:15.
1:15.
What do you guys say we call it?
That's not bad.
That
That's
sounds
good. That's
good.
That's a good.
It's less than our last
Yeah,
one.
we can make up the average from our last one.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, are you doing the closeout?
I guess I will.
Do it.
This is Layne. I'm Kevin. That's Casey. How about you guys give us a like, comment, and subscribe if you made it this far? And hopefully we'll see you on the next video.